Hey everyone, Joshua Kirk here with you once again, and now it's time for episode 240 of Album of the Day, in which for today's album review, since I don't have a physical copy of this album, this is just going to be a listening review, and I'm going to be talking about a rapper, a singer, a classically trained flautist, and songwriter who sort of first came up in 2016 with her debut EP, Coconut Oil, but now is kind of a new sort of pop sensation right now. Not really sure where she's from, but she definitely is having a really big year in 2019. Of course, I'm talking about the artist known as Lizzo, which I'm here to review her debut album, which was released earlier this year on April 19th, 2019. The album is called 'Cause I Love You. Now, I don't have this album on vinyl or CD. In fact, it isn't even available on vinyl anyways, although I hope it makes a vinyl release at some point. But I do have it digitally because I bought it on iTunes, and this is definitely an excellent album. I really like this album's versatility of different genres. It blends together elements of pop, hip hop, soul, R&B. There's even some kind of gospel and blues and kind of psychedelic rock elements to this album too. It definitely pulls from a lot of different genres, but it definitely manages to all flow together to create this one very cohesive, fun, catchy, and incredibly, as well as incredibly cathartic 33-minute record. A lot of these songs are really short, so it really shows that she really has her music down to a science, and she has the ability to leave audiences satisfied by just, making 3-minute traditional pop songs that still have a lot of character to them. And she also has some incredible singing abilities too. Just take a look at the opening track, which is the title track, 'Cause I Love You. And just check out her vocal cords. She is just so forceful and emotional with her performance as she's sort of singing it about kind of, crying because she loves someone, but not necessarily like sad necessarily, but more just tears full of joy and empathy for this person, as well as some fantastic killer lyrics in the verses to back it up, that sort of sentiment, and the instrumental on this track, which is produced by the rock band X Ambassadors, just sounds so incredible over her performance. The kind of bang, 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 the kind of bombastic, gospel-tinged instrumental they deliver on here is just flat-out killer over her performance. The next track, Like a Girl, is sort of about how women sort of have a little more power in this day and age. I mean, back in the day, women sort of kind of were treated wrongly, and there were definitely different celebrities, definitely different male celebrities that got away with abusing women and stuff like that. But now women are like speaking up for themselves and really sort of showing that they are way more powerful than they may have shown initially. But this is a song kind of about feeling good about yourself, and it's not just an anthem for women's empowerment, but it also could be a song that I think anybody of any sort of gender or race could relate to, because you kind of wake up on those days feeling like you just might run for president. You might just run for president, and the only X's you care about are in your chromosomes. Sort of using a little bit of science knowledge in there too. as well as dropping in references to some pretty famous black women like Serena Williams or Williams and Lauryn Hill. And it has just such an incredible, fun chorus. The like a girl is just like the notes that she hits when she sings that addictive hook are just, you know, I totally feel that. Totally feel that. And I do really like the kind of soulful instrumental that really does suit her rap, her kind of sassy, but yet very sort of optimistic rapping very well. But by far the one song on the album that everyone seems to love, that seems to be her biggest hit right now, is the third track on 'Cause I Love You, Juice, which came out a few months before the release of the album with a really cool music video that I do recommend watching on YouTube. And the song kind of sounds a little inspired by like 80s retro pop a little bit, with the kind of sort of shiny, glammy, funky guitars, the kind of electronic drumming on the song, but then it also kind of has elements of kind of reggaeton a little bit, with some really peppy horns. The song is incredibly catchy and fun. It's definitely a good summer song, you know, if you got a pool party going on with some friends, you know. This song would probably be appropriate for that kind of setting, because I know for certain that this album and this song are like my summer jam for sure. For sure, and I really like some really memorable lyrics on here. Mirror, mirror on the wall, can't say 'cause you know I'm cute. Cute. It's LV all on my shoes, and also really like the line of I be dripping so much sauce, got a bitch looking like ragu. Goo. And incredible hook on here, the yeah 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 yeah, and blame it on my juice, baby, blame it on my juice, baby. Oh my god, I love that, so good. So good. And there really are a lot of songs on here kind of about feeling really good about yourself, and kind of, you know, we need these kind of songs in an era where, you know, whether it be our politics or like maybe some other rough things going on in our world that are just full of negativity. We need songs like this that kind of help us sort of, you know, feel really kind of zen about ourselves. Like, it almost, like, her kind of attitude about herself and about people is it kind of reminds me of Buddhism a little bit. If you take a look at a song like Soulmate, which is about, typically when you think soulmate, you think, yeah, your lover, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, or your husband, but in this case, the narrator is actually sort of saying that she's her own soulmate, sort of, you know, talking about how she's going to bring herself flowers, and, you know, she's going to, you know, and she wants to, you know, make love to herself and stuff like that, which, you know, if only more people could just realize that they have their own sort of inner lover in themselves, and also incredible hook on there. Really like the instrumental. It's got a very fun, bouncy kind of trap flavor to it. This is one album where some trap music that's topping the charts is just really boring and really formulaic. The trap beats on this Lizzo record actually have some true, you know, guts to them and suit her delivery very well. So the traditional pop and trap elements that are incorporated into this album are done, you know, with a kind of artistic sort of done with a real artistic sort of mindset. We have some very soulful tracks on here, like the song Jerome, one of my favorite tracks on here, which it is. I've read somewhere on Genius that this song is kind of about sort of F-boy love, which of course, I'm censoring that because, can't say that, but this is kind of a song where she's sort of talking to this person and kind of telling him that, you don't have to, come see me all the time, because, you may look really attractive and you may be beautiful, but you kind of have that sort of thorny side, sort of likening this person to a rose, and how it looks beautiful, but it actually has thorns in it. This is kind of the approach she's going for in this song, and I really like how sort of empathetic she sounds in here, really delivering a lot of authenticity to her performance, including the line where she kind of, says, you don't have to, go see these other people, but I can call them if you want me to. Sort of throwing in a little dialogue in there. And I also like how it kind of takes a poppy instrumental and makes it kind of bluesy and incorporates these really beautiful horns and this melody that definitely sounds very much kind of inspired by some old school soul. And also the track Better in Color, I think, is a little soulful too, even though it's definitely funkier and more energetic, kind of talking about her sort of respect of all different types of races and skin colors, and how, love, just looks better when you're black. So really showing a little bit of, pride in being black on the song, over this really kind of fun, joyous, kind of also kind of summery funk instrumental. And she puts in just the right amount of corn and cheese here to make it definitely very fun to jam to. But then there's also a bunch of different kind of genre curveballs for this pop record. We have a psychedelic rock jam with the song Cry Baby, which is also a song kind of about how, you just gotta let all your feelings out and not try to suppress them. Because, people are constantly telling you to sort of, not to be sad, not to cry, but sometimes, if you're like saying goodbye to someone, like kind of breaking up with someone, or you just lost someone in your family, you just gotta, cry sometimes. At a performance when she sings, I don't need to apologize, this big girl's gotta cry, is just like, it pulls at my heartstrings, not in, the typical, sweeping ballad kind of way, but more just kind of making it go pitter-patter kind of thing. And the instrumental that is produced by Ricky Reed, who produced majority of the songs here, is really cool. Really like the kind of fuzzy garage rock guitars that are incorporated in there. Some great drumming. It sort of sounds a little bit like psychedelic rock, but kind of more in a pop sort of setting. But right after this, we get a total club banger with the song Tempo featuring Missy Elliott, which is a really killer, very bangin' ode to twerking. Which you can also see that sort of concept in the video she just put out for the song, which is really cool. The costume that Lizzo wore in the video, I don't even know who does the wardrobes for her videos, but I know it's someone who clearly knows, how to really, make something that suits the song really well. Really good rapping on the track. Really like the kind of catchy sort of strip club. Really like the catchy kind of strip club beat that she goes for on the track. And Missy Elliott totally kills it on her guest verse. She's mastering the brrr and the ochre sounds She does all those ad libs better than Cardi B ever could. B ever could, and really has some great chemistry with Lizzo. Which, while Lizzo is sort of seems like she's like having fun, she's a little more monotone. But Missy is just full on, just like she's showing that very unapologetic sort of don't mess with this girl kind of attitude. Girl kind of attitude. The closing track, Lingerie, is definitely by far the most sexual song on the album. Lyrically, it's essentially the musical equivalent to like that moment of intimacy with your significant other, which is also kind of the concept of the lyrics. She's sort of talking about, she's kind of, about to have sex with someone, but she's like kind of a little nervous about it and sort of isn't really sure how to handle it. So it only made sense that when I heard that she actually was a little nervous about this song when she first wrote it, because it's the first time she's written a song that's been like it's kind of explicitly sexual in that it kind of made her blush a little bit, which I definitely get that kind of feeling because I can see how this song could definitely make listeners blush a little bit because of how sort of beautiful and sexy the song is, and also gorgeous, very soulful instrumental. Really like the kind of sensual guitars and drums. Some really beautiful string embellishments sweep in at one point. I mean, the producers who worked with Lizzo on this album clearly knew what instrumentals would work well with her delivery. And the track "Exactly How I Feel" is also kind of a track about, feeling good about yourself, and she's sort of, kind of again likening crying to being a good thing, sort of saying that she looks pretty crying. Even though I wouldn't necessarily say this is the best track on the album. I mean, Lizzo's performance on the track, really good. Gucci Mane's rap verse on the track, it's okay. It's okay. And also the track "Heaven Help Me" is definitely, in my opinion, the weakest track here, because it seems just like some of the personality that I see for most of this album from Lizzo, I don't really see any of that in "Heaven Help Me." "Heaven Help Me." And the instrumental also just sounds a little cliched. It's kind of your typical piano, gospel-y sort of pop song, even though it does have a really beautiful flute solo at the end, which of course is played by Lizzo herself. And I know Lizzo is a great flautist, so any point she breaks out the flute, I'm down. Flute. She even does that at the end of the song "Tempo," even though it's kind of put through kind of lo-fi fuzz sort of recording. Overall, really excellent album. It's, in my opinion, the best pop album I've heard this year. It definitely, and I think the success and the critical acclaim and the endless array of best of the year lists that this album is getting ranked on is really proof that it is some very quality stuff. It's the kind of record that's so high quality, so good, that even its bonus tracks are worth checking out, which the deluxe edition features a few songs that were released as standalone singles, dating all the way back to mid-2017 to mid-2018. The song "Boys," I think it's really strange that this song isn't on the regular version of the album, because it's a complete banger. Complete banger. Really like its mixture of hip-hop beats with psychedelic guitars and organs, along with her lyrics, which sort of talks about how she's really not very discriminatory in terms of what kind of boys she likes. I definitely will never forget that bar of I like I like big boys, itty bitty boys, Mississippi boys, and the city boys. The flow that she delivers on there is like so tight, so lit. Mm, so lit. Incredible chorus on there too. The boys shout is definitely something that you just gotta sing along to and break out into that falsetto. Out into the falsetto. And I do really like how sort of strange the instrumental actually is. It features a sample of a crowd at one of her concerts chanting Lizzo, Lizzo, and really neat guitar solo after that too. Too. The two oldest tracks on here are the last couple of bonus tracks, which are Truth Hurts, a very smart and sort of clever trap song about kind of how sort of about her sort of discovering that she had to face the truth of who she really is, and she's sort of making references to all the different things that have gone on in her life, including falling in love with one of the Minnesota Vikings, as well as sort of clever references to how it sort of goes being a pop star, sort of getting fresh photos with the bomb lighting, and shampoo press and stuff like that. Like that, and a really good beat on the track. Really like the sort of dinging, really like the sort of chiming pianos on on the instrumental. They really complement her singing very well, and the song "Water Me," which does close the deluxe edition, definitely is kind of a straight ahead pop song. It definitely sounds like the kind of thing I would hear in a commercial, which is kind of funny because I did see a car commercial that had an instrumental version of the song playing in the background, but Lizzo's delivery manages to sort of separate it from kind of all the other people who kind of try to copy that sort of sound. Some of her ad libs on here, like the and the choo-choo when she talks about the operator caboose. And this song is sort of about, kind of needing to stay hydrated and drink a lot of water and kind of eat healthy foods and stuff like that. That even though it does sound like it could be a love song, but it's kind of metaphor for sort of getting a lot of fluid, hence the lyric of I don't get dehydrated, I moisturize it daily. Oh yeah. Daily. Yeah, really great record. I would say after multiple listens of this one, I think it's going to make it into my top 10 of the year. Not only because of the incredible performances, but also how it's really refreshing to see a pop record that really is about sort of feeling good about yourself and really having that confidence and that self-esteem, because not a lot of music that's topping the charts is really about that. Some of the music that's topping the charts is kind of some rap that's kind of about people sort of wallowing in their depression and stuff like that. But to have something that is like kind of the opposite of that is really incredible, and I definitely hope that this album gets remembered as a classic for in the future. So I'm definitely going with a light 9 out of 10 on this new Lizzo record, because I love you, and I'll see you for episode 241.